Hi viewers, welcome to another edition of Mary Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Malaya and Oputi. Thank you so much for always joining us today on another edition of Mary Clinic Live. Um, please always do subscribe to our YouTube channel. I did a video earlier, but somehow I realized that there was no audio in it, and I've said a lot. And I think we will learn so much from this. Let's quickly go on this short break and then I continue. So welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking to us about my US visa experience as a family. We applied as a family, so I'm going to talk about our experience with the US visa application. And in case there are other families out there looking to apply as a family, what you need to know and how you need to go about it. I would like to start by saying that when it comes to marriage, mm, marriage is a journey, and a lot will happen, during your married life. And part of what may happen is that you could or you may have plans, to travel. Many couples do have travel plans. It's possible for them to just believe that sometimes in the nearest future they will travel. So I always tell married people that, see, if you plan to travel, it's always good to go together as a family. Try and go as a family. Let the travel plan incorporate the whole family, because it's better off when you are with your family, when all of you are together, than for one to be, you know, thousands of miles away from the other. It's not so good for marriage. It's not so good for relationship. It's not so healthy. So I know that there are some people that do it, but somehow you gain the travel experience, but you lose your marriage. So if you know you don't want to lose your marriage, try as much as possible to subscribe for a travel plan that will incorporate all of you, both husband, wife, and the children, in your travel plan. So some people believe that, oh, if they apply as a family, they will be denied and all of that. We applied as a family, all of us, the four of us, husband, wife, two kids, and we were approved. Our visa was approved. So I will just share what was it we did differently, and how we went about it. So I want you to know that when it comes to US visa application, the major challenge is you getting a date, an interview date. We all know what is going on currently in Nigeria. That to get a date is becoming a nightmare. I understand that available data in 2023, 2024, and all of that. Even when we applied, the available date was in 2023 October, but we're like, no, we can't wait. But the unique thing about ours is that we have a son who is a US citizen, so he has his medical appointments in the US, and we wanted to go, we wanted to accompany him. But before then, we had applied to the UK embassy as a family for visa, for us to be able to go on our family vacation. So before at all we approached the US embassy, we had gone to the UK embassy to apply for tourist visa. So the UK embassy already approved a tourist visa for us. Myself and the kid. So we already have UK visas on our passport. So it's always important that you have at least a UK visa or a visa from any of these Schengen states or Schengen country on your visa. A Dubai visa may not be respected that much by the US Embassy, but when they see a UK visa on your passport or one of these Schengen visas, they will respect you because they believe those are police states. For you to get their visas, then it means your documents are genuine, because the honest truth is that US Embassy don't check documents. They will not check your document. Most times when you go there with document, they will not check it. And that reminds me, see, when you are going for a US interview at the US Embassy, please and please try not to go with bulky document, because see, they are looking at you through the camera. Once they sight you coming with bulky document in a file or in a folder, no matter what you say, you will not be approved the visa, because they believe that for you to be coming with those bulky documents, then you are desperate, that you have gone to pack all the documents just to prove that you you just want the visa at all costs. Now, one thing about the US visa is that they don't like people that show conspiracy. When you are desperate and you make it look like, oh, this thing is a do or die, you get denied. Like my husband will always say, USA is not heaven. Even UK is not heaven. He always says, see, all these developed countries, they are not heaven. US is not heaven. So the earlier you understand this, is not heaven. The only difference between them and Africa is just that they are more developed. Their system works, their structure works. That's all. But we don't have a system or structure that works. That's just the only difference. So we try as much as possible to make it natural as possible. Then when you're applying for a US visa, you need to be in tune with God. Really, you need to be sure, is this where God is asking me to go? Am I supposed to be applying for this at this time? So we were convinced that this is what God would have us do at this time. And don't forget, I already said earlier that we had applied to the UK Embassy and we got it. So we all had UK visas on our passport. So that was when we approached the US Embassy. Don't forget, US tourist application system is also points based. So when they see that, oh, you've traveled out before to the UK or to the Schengen countries, you earn more points, you get more points. Or when they say UK visa or a Schengen visa on your passport, you appear credible before them, even though they still believe you are a potential immigrant, but at least your score, your chances for getting the visa approved will be higher than someone who has never traveled out of Nigeria or who doesn't have any Schengen visa or UK visa on their passport. Now, Dubai visa is not so recognized, but if you have traveled to Dubai before, always put it too in your application. So the first step part is for you to make your payment at the GT Bank. You pay for the number of people that are applying. Then you start looking for date. Now there's something called expedited date or emergency date. They only approve these dates for people that are going for urgent things such as medicals. Then they approve it for maybe student, people that are going to school, people that are going for funeral. They approve it for them. But if you are going for any other thing, maybe party, graduation, they don't see all those as very important. So I don't think they do expedited interview for graduation anymore. But I know they do for medical, they do for funeral, they do for students. So, and I've seen people who through student visa, went to the US and got their application approved. So, but we did tourist visas and we did it as a family, because we always want to be together. Life is easier for us when we are all together than for one person to be apart, it's kind of difficult. We function better together. So we already told God that, God, anything we are going to be doing that would not make all of us be together, then it's a waste of time. We won't do it. And He heard our cry. He answered that cry of ours, and we went. So I know what I also say is that when you want to do a US visa interview, it's always good for you to choose maybe like a Abuja center rather than choosing Lagos, because Abuja is not so crowded. All this while I've been going to Lagos for my interviews, even though Lagos, I've got approved for visa before in Lagos, but with time it became so crowded that they hardly listen to you. Subsequent interviews, I was refused, so I told myself I'm not going through Lagos again. We are going to Abuja. So we all went to Abuja, and there was peaceful. We were treated well. They had chairs there we could sit on. Unlike in Lagos, you are not going to sit down, you will stand. Even if you are a pregnant woman, you will stand. I felt that treatment was inhuman, but in Abuja, you could get seat to sit. So, you will sit down. We choose Abuja for our interview center, and we were able to get expedited date because our son is a US citizen, so we we needed to take him for his medical appointment. So we told them that we needed to accompany him for his medical appointment. Now, don't forget that when you make payment, you have to fill the S-160 form. Now, when you are filling this form, it's very, very important for you to fill the form well and to be consistent, and to feel it there that people are accompanying you, you are going with your family members, and you need to also be careful what you feel in there, because I see people that when they are being asked, do you have family members there, uncle, auntie, they'll put yes, 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 I have people there, I have the whole world there. No, you don't want to diverge so much, because see, these people are psychologists. When you start putting it there, you have this person there, you have that person there, you have the whole world there, then they will think like, oh, you want to shift your home base from Africa or wherever you are to their own country, so they will believe that you will not come back. So try not to diverge so much. We usually, we act plainly, so we believe that the people of different worlds are like the people of different world are also like our family members. So it's not until you have a blood brother or sisters in a country that you see. So we believe that we have, so long they are human beings there, they are also family members. Anywhere you feel at home is where your families are. So most times we just say, oh, we are just going on our own to do our own thing. Even though we have family there, we are not in touch. We are not planning or banking on them for anything, because they want to be sure you are not going to be dependent. Now they will always ask you who is sponsoring your trip. You want to put self, that you are going to be the one to sponsor your trip. They don't expect you to be putting another person's name as your sponsor. Then they'll start thinking, this is not an independent adult." And that's why I always say that as an adult, you need to be financially independent. Whether you're a male or female, married or no marriage, you should not be financially dependent on people. No, it will limit you in life. You should work towards your own financial independence, because when you want to travel to, they will ask you who is sponsoring you. You should be able to say, I'm going to sponsor myself, and or the head of the family should be able to say, like, I'm going to sponsor every member of my family, and the wife too should be able to say, yes, we have what it takes, to sponsor self. So you need to let them know that you have the resources to do this. You don't need all the money in the world, but you need to establish that at least you have what it takes, because they will ask you, what do you do for a living? So people do believe that it is only when you are employed by a company or something that they can give you visa. No, that's not true. Even when you are self-employed, you can get visa so long you can explain what you do, and when they hear you out, it's quite convincing, because then my husband was already self-employed. He explained what he does with his consultancy firm, and he was able to sound convincing to them. Then with US visa, they will ask you for travel history. Have you traveled before? Yes, yes, yes. To which countries? We mention the country. So it's always good for you to have travel history. As a matter of fact, it's always good for you to have UK visa on your passport, or any of these Schengen countries visa on your passport before you approach the US embassy. Although I've seen some students that have never traveled to anywhere and they approached the US embassy that they were going to school and they were being granted. So it depends on your level of faith, what you believe in. Also, try not to go with so much document because they will not look at anything. Just sound convincing. Just speak to them. See it as a chat. It's an interview. You are dialoguing with the person. So, and when you go into the premises of the US embassy, you need to be very cautious. You need to be aware that they are looking at you through the camera. So it's not a time to start talking to people, start asking people questions. No, if it's what you go there to do, you focus. Um, During the interview, try to answer the specific question you have been asked. You don't beat about the bush. You don't go answering the question you were not asked. You don't. When they ask you one question, it is that question you should answer, because they have just 2 minutes or 3 minutes to interview you, and in that 2 to 3 minutes, whatever you say, they've already concluded whether you will be given or refused. Now, don't forget that because you filled a DS-160 form prior to that interview day, make sure that everything you are saying on that interview days aligns with all that you already filled in your form. The answers you are giving should not be different from the answers you already have on your form. Then they may want to ask, so why is it that all of you are going? Why not just one of you or two of you? So we had good reasons. Then my baby was still very little, so I told them, well, I'm still breastfeeding. I'm winning the little one, and because I'm still breastfeeding and winning the little one, the brother needs an adult to supervise him. I alone cannot supervise the two children, considering I have this little one at hand to breastfeed. So I need another adult to accompany us to handle the boy, and they understood that clearly. And the man also asked what we do for a living. We told him, have you traveled before? We said that. To which countries? We mentioned all the countries, and he was like, okay. So he was asking my husband. I said, oh, you mean you've traveled to all these countries and you never applied to US embassy before? And he said yes. He says, why haven't you traveled to US before? Why haven't you applied to the US embassy before? He said because he has not had any calls to go to the US or to apply to them. So because of that, the man was convinced that no, these people, they don't see US as a do or die, affair. And my husband always says that, see, US is not heaven, UK is not heaven. They are not heaven, so don't make it look like it. And he always says that if the birds of the air would want to travel from Nigeria to Europe, for example, if a bird decide to leave Nigeria for another country, he said all the birds does is to spread its wing and fly to any country of the world that it wants. Um, but that for us human being, we should believe that if a bird could do that, just spread their wing and fly and move freely without any form of restriction or taking visa from anyone before they could enter a country, then how much more we human spirit? So he believes that nothing should be able to limit us, that all these visa things are restrictions put there by human beings like us, through the policies in their government. And so He believes we we would cross that hurdle if we believe God is on our side, and with God we're able to cross that hurdle. So I think that the first thing is for you to start out by telling God that no, we don't want our families to be apart. We all want to be together. We want to journey together. Anywhere we are going, we all want to go together. Once God sees that sincerity in your heart, then He will make a way for you all to be together. And try to subscribe to only travel plans that would ensure that you all are together. Also, for US embassy, try not to go with document. They hate seeing people with document because they always believe that those documents are forged. So try not to go with document. Have all the information on your head. Speak eloquently. Speak confidently. And try not to talk too much. Look presentable. Be well dressed. Because I remember that day we went. We were looking well fed, well dressed, we were looking well slept. So we got there on time. Try to go there on time. Don't be late because lateness will affect your mood. Also dress well. My husband was dressed in English shirt, and he tucked it in his sneakers, in his chinos sneakers with his trainers. Same thing with my son. Then the little one wore a flowery gown, and I also wore a flowery gown. We were just looking, presentable and well fed. So work on your dressing, work on the way you talk, be precise, be brief. Um, Try not to use all these agents. They have a way of confusing you. They will just take your money and not do anything, and at the end of the day you will lose out. They will come and tell you, "Oh, we can look for date for you, we can look for this for you." Please don't mind them. If you can fill your applications yourself, it's for you to go online to their website, find out the information, follow the instructions, and you will get it done. I also understand that Canada has a lot of travel and relocation path for families. You may also want to explore that. Same with Australia, same with some other countries of the world. You may never know until you find out, or you research, or you ask. So that is our own experience though, and I believe that if God did it for us, if God made it possible for all of us to go, then it will make it possible for you as well to go as a family without leaving anyone behind. Because see, even those that are still living together are still struggling to keep their family or they are married together. How much more if you now have to leave your spouse in thousands and thousands miles away from you? The marriage would definitely struggle. So let God know that you will all want to be together, and that any travel plan you are subscribing to should be the one that will bring both of you together. Now, if that is achievable, then you would see that it will work it out for you. It will work it out for you. So I'd like to stop here now. In case you have any question, you can leave me the question at the comment section. I'll try as much as possible to reply you. Or if you need any form of guidance, clarification, I will let you know. Please feel free to share this video with others with whom you think it will help them, especially if they are looking to travel as a family. Thank you so much. I remain your host, Malaya Han Oguti. Till we meet again, I say